So, today I'm going to show you not only the traditional way to do multiplication, but also one of many alternatives. So, to start with, we have the traditional way. Now let's just jump right into an example. An example of the traditional way would be 15 times 5. Mind you, this is going to be throughout the entire video that we're going to use 15 times 5, just so you know. So 15 times 5. The traditional way, we would start out with starting with our ones place. 5 times 5 to get 25. We would put the 5 of 25 down at the bottom where our answer goes, and then we put the 20 of 25, our 2 in the tens place, 25, up above our 10 of 15. Okay? We know this. And then we would multiply the 5 times the 10 of 15. And we would get 50. Because we have to remember, this 1 right here is a 10, not a 1. So we would get 50. So 50 plus 20, because this was the 20 of 25, we would get 70, for a total of 75. Now, on to this amazing alternative. This alternative is called the Hutching's low stress algorithm. Before we start, you should know that this requires drop step. Simply for drop step, you're multiplying. Whenever you're multiplying, you put the place value, the larger place value, on one line, and then you put the next place value on the next line. So you're dropping down a line. So a step, think of it like steps. You're dropping down a step. So for this, 2 times 6, you put the tens place right there, so you have a 1. And then you would put the 2 in the ones place down one step. So let's get started. Now, for this Hutching's low stress, we have 2 ways that we can do this. We can go from right to left, just like the traditional way, and then we can go left to right. So, starting with right to left. With right to left, we start again with our 15 times 5. So we start with our ones place. This dotted line is merely to specify where the place values are. So we have tens place and we have ones place. This alternative way actually does help specify where a place value is, because it separates dropping down place values. And of course, it also helps in the end to keep track of everything. So again, ones place, we start with our ones place. So 5 times 5 is 25. See how we did the drop step? The next step would be then to multiply the 5 times the 10 of 15, because the 1 of 15 is in our tens place. So we have 50. So we drop down. So 5, 50, 5 in our tens place. Ugh, I can't talk. 5 in our tens place goes right below our 2, and the 0 drops a step from where this is, and that's where our 0 goes. So our final step of this entire method is to just add. So we add our ones place to get 5. And we add our tens place to get 70, for a total of 75. Same as in traditional. So here's a practice. 16 times 4. We're going to go right to left. I'm going to do this with you. So we start with, we go, okay, 6 times 4 is 24. Make sure to use drop step. And then we do 10 times 4 to get 40. And then simply add up, our ones place for a total of 4, and our tens place for a total of 60, for a total answer of 64. See? 64. Is that what you got? I hope so. So, then we can move on to left to right. It's just as simple as right to left, only we're moving from left to right, much like how we read in English. So, we have 15 times 5. But instead of starting with 5 times 5, we'll start with 10 times 5, because the 1 of 15 is in our tens place. So 10 times 5 is 50, making sure to use drop step. Then we move on to 5 times 5 to get 25, including the drop step. See, just as we did last time, only the numbers switched around. Now we have to add. So our tens place is 5 plus 2 is 70. Well, 50 plus 20 is 70. 5 plus 2 is 7. But since it's in the tens place, it's 50 plus 20 is 70. And then our ones place, 0 plus 5 is 5, for a total of 75. Now, try this method, left to right, with this problem. 29 times 9. Now, I should note that with this one, you are going to have things in the hundredths place. So, do it the same way. So, we start out with 20 times 9 is 180. And then 9 times 9 is 81. And then add it all up, and we get... Now, you might want to actually add up from right to left, just so that it's easier, but you can do it left to right as well. So, I'm going to go from right to left in addition. So 0 plus 1 is 1. 8 plus 8 is 16, so I'm going to add a 1 in a place, in a separate place value in the hundredths place. Because 80 plus 80, it's not really 8 plus 8, it's 80 plus 80 is 160. So 100 plus 100 is 200. So we get a total of 261. Okay, now I made sure to include calculator checking. So what I got from multiplying using a calculator is 15 times 15 is 75. We got that right. 16 times 4 is 64. If you got 64, we got it right. 29 times 9 is 261. We're right. So that's the Hutchinson's low stress algorithm. The simple fact is that the Hutchinson's low stress, it's low stress. It's simple for students to go left to right or right to left, depending on how they feel. If they're more comfortable doing it left to right, the way that we read in English, they can do it that way with Hutchinson's. And then they can alternatively do it right to left, so that they're aware of how we do it in our math, the way we do it normally in math, the traditional way, which can then move them on to the traditional way, if need be. The simple fact is that this is low stress and it's helpful. I use it, and I know other people that do too.